Everybody, Nicholas Snow here. Welcome to another edition of PromoHomo.TV. It is the Fall 22 premiere week here on PromoHomo.TV. And I want to refresh this page that you're supposed to be seeing. Nice and exciting. Here we go. Oops, I'm having a little technical difficulty with the graphic I want to show you. Here we go. So, Palm Springs Leather Pride is coming up October 27th, 28th, and 29th here in Palm Springs, California. And this is the season premiere of Outinerary, which celebrates out in this world travel. And even though a lot of people who watch my show are local here in the desert where I'm based, people tune in from all over the world to figure out what's happening. And I developed the show Outinerary specifically with the intention of spotlighting out of this world experiences while being out in this world. So on the homepage right now at PromoHomo.TV, as you are seeing, is the layout of tonight's episode about Palm Springs Leather Pride. And I have three of the organizers that are coming on the show with me. And they say, here we are once again throwing the hottest event weekend of social favorites, including cruisings, pool parties, and bar hops, culminating with the Mr. Palm Springs Leather Contest and the closing celebration, both of which will be held at the Hotel Zoso. So lots coming up with Palm Springs Leather Pride, and I'm going to bring my special guest to you in a moment, and we're going to learn all about it coming up. This is kind of funny. I actually created the show Outinerary and trademarked it, who wouldn't, during the pandemic because I knew that at some point I wanted to be covering a lot of travel. And I wasn't able to do a lot of travel during the pandemic. But this summer, I'm so excited. I made it a point to go to 4 local Southern California cities, and I broadcast in their entirety the West Hollywood Pride Parade, the LA Pride Parade, the Long Beach Pride Parade, and the San Diego Pride Parade. And coming up on November 6th, 2022, is my 5th year of my team and I broadcasting the Palm Springs Pride Parade. So Outinerary is definitely one of the shows that you want to watch here on the network. And all those parades are available at PromoHomo.TV. So, without further delay, I want to bring up representatives of Palm Springs Leather Pride 2022, presented by the Palm Springs Leather Order of the Desert. And in no particular order, let me welcome Kip O'Connor, Eric Johnson, and David Dunn. Welcome, gentlemen.
Welcome. Thank you for having us.
Well, it's my pleasure, and thank you for giving up some of your Saturday night with me, but I know it's much earlier than a lot of the things you would ordinarily be doing on a Saturday night, but I'm glad you're here.
We're glad to be here. Thank you for having us.
So, Kip, I think you're the only one who's not physically in the desert right now during this broadcast. Is that true?
Yes. I'm in San Francisco at Folsom event. And
now, for
very
people
good.
that don't know what the Folsom Street Fair is, let's educate the viewers.
Well, it started several days ago for Leather Week in San Francisco. So it's a yearly event that this is the second year that they did their restart, and it's bringing in thousands of people. There's, you say, action packed. It's jammed with parties every night and bar events, and you can't go into you walk into Mr. S Leather and it looks like a Macy's sale day going on. It's the 10
Huh.
people thick, just changing clothes right there in the aisle to try things on, and it's like a locker room. So it's like a leather locker room.
Uh, okay, I'm
It can be
sure
good.
that sounds fun for a lot of people. Now, there's a lot of people that don't really know what the leather community is. They don't understand why do you have a leather pride when there's LGBTQ pride, and one at a time. I would love for you to give us your take on what is the leather community, and I'm going to start with you, David.
Well, it's kind of a cohort of the gay community, and it's a group of people who have a particular interest in our case, either leather, kink, or fetish wear or lifestyle. And so it's a great opportunity to create kind of a group that not only provides a community for an existing cohort, if you will, people who are already there, but also, I think for me, even more importantly, it provides a place for people to go if they think they might be interested in this. And so at the end of the day, that's what we are. It's a great community. It's about fraternity and brotherhood and sisterhood. But as I said, it's a place for an existing community to kind of come together, but also it's a great place for exploration.
Okay, what would you like to add to that, Eric?
Well, I think that the leather community is a very broad community. We had posted some pictures for this one, and some of them were some people who are not in leather. They were just people who attend because we had thousands and thousands of people attending. And I actually got several emails in response from around the country saying, why aren't you putting only people in leather? And, everyone has various degrees of what they're doing. And what we're really adamant about at PSLOD is to be a really inclusive club. We really push that. We have a broad membership, and we want a broad group of people coming because it's a really fun weekend. You talked about Folsom. Folsom is the granddaddy of all leather festivals, and it started as a street festival south of Market in San Francisco. And now the same weekend, there's a Berlin Folsom that they named Folsom after the Folsom Street Fair going on as well. The other one people know are Dory Alley or Mid-Atlantic Leather, and they all gear and point toward Mr. International Leather, the IML contest in Chicago, as a reason to have them. But the real reason to have them is, I used to come down from San Francisco before I moved here full time, and I would come mostly for Gay Pride the weekend after. But my work schedule would work out to where a lot of years ago, I ended up coming for Leather Pride. And what I found is the people were so nice, welcoming, fun. Just really a group of, you kind of, when you meet your peeps and they don't have attitude and they're just really engaging and fun. And it was a really fun weekend, So I kind of got attracted to joining PSLOD because it was kind of a tribe of people that were just really accepting and opening. And then you can explore all you want and nobody has any judgment about it. And, in an area, in a period where our government is trying to own people's bodies, I guess our message is we do, you don't. And come explore
Right.
within your bounds. You will be accepted by us, and we hope, and really I think Kip's done a really good job of putting together what's going to be a really fun weekend. Last year, Leather Pride was the first leather event in the country that was kind of out of the gate after COVID, was Palm Springs Leather Pride PSLOD does. So we really just broke records and the attendance and the people, and it was a blast. So we're just
The
hoping to
same,
build
by
on
the
that.
way. The same, by the way, with Palm Springs Pride, which was the
You know what I'm going to, the other thing, and I just did something with the city talking about this, is it's a week. So many people come from out of town and they come for Leather Pride, they stay for Halloween right through the week, and they end with Gay Pride. So it's a package week to 10 days that a lot of people come from all over the country to join us. I always enjoy it because I see people from cities and people that I know from LA, from San Francisco, from Portland, from Seattle, from Washington, D.C. It's just a group of men and women that come together, and you get to know them. And some of them I've known 30 years. And it's a wonderful excuse to get together, I think.
Well, and there's some of your headliners that have made it to your poster. Brian Dawson, Ralph Bruno, Karen Ultra, Lenny Broberg, Andy Cross, Joe Gallagher, Patrick Smith, Jeff Tucker, and Gary Irisa.
Ariza.
And these are all
Irisa.
related to the competition, and Kip can talk about that, and the judges that he's got coming in, because it's an impressive list.
I would love for Kip to talk about that, but I guess since you had the experience last year of breaking records, because Palm Springs was offered the first in-person Pride events of 2022 in California because of the pandemic. So everyone everywhere really wanted to get back into reality. And now, Kip, you're coming to us from San Francisco. You're at the Folsom Street Affair activities this week, and they're busting at the seams, the leather seams, as you have explained. So I'm sure that the feeling is you're going to have another huge event.
It's a chain reaction. So, we had Up Your Alley uh, last month, and Folsom taking place as we speak. The Palm Springs Leather Order of the Desert and the Leather Pride event is is actually the largest one in the West Coast in this particular region. And so every year it seems, wow, what are we going to do next? How is this going to happen? Um, uh, the numbers change, the people change with the reset of starting over or coming forward last year. Let me address really quick what you were asking about earlier about what it means about the leather community, because being gay is a very fluid identity, and the leather community is a is, as David said, a collective brotherhood, and we call it a brotherhood, and it's all inclusive with people that are into leather, but then under that umbrella are multiple different facets of identity, i.e., sexuality, and as Eric said, kinks and fetishes. That that this is what this means in the bigger scheme of things. So this year uh, we are going to be hosted at the Hotel Zoso, downtown Palm Springs, and very excited about our contestants that are continuing to send in applications, and the activity is really ramping up. Uh, Sales are good. Sponsors are coming out. Erica is constantly sending me emails about people requesting more information, and so it's that rush to the finish line as we speak. So the the thing that I want to touch on with Eric, as he mentioned earlier, and you showed online there, was our panel of judges. So never before has anybody put together a panel with all IML title holders. And if you look at those people, they're iconic uh, in the history of Leatherman. Lenny Broberg is going to be celebrating his 30th year anniversary. And Gary Ariza, Mr. IML, actually was Mr. Barracks and became Mr. Palm Springs Leather. So he's like our local guy that we're featuring there. And it's representative group from all over the country. Yes, we have had IML title holders here before, but never assembled this particular type of a group. And it's very interesting to talk to these guys. They're just like, uh, they're giggling on the phone. They're so excited about being here and being around their buddies and coming back to Palm Springs and wanting to stay for Halloween and wanting to stay for uh, Gay Pride.
This is live, and I have some viewers that are watching, and Christian is saying hello to us. And Rock, who watches from Fargo, North Dakota, says he really loves pup play and leather pups, which is sort of a subdivision is not the right word, but a subgroup of the leather community,
And a growing one.
a growing one.
Yeah.
Nicholas,
Yes.
if I may, just
Please go ahead, jump in.
invitation to your viewers and others who may see this online. I just want to pick up on this concept of inclusion, because I think it's really important both for Leather Pride and also for PSLOD. And that is that I think sometimes you undoubtedly in your audience right now have folks who are members of the leather community and some who may not consider themselves members. And I think there are people who, when they even hear the word leather, they think of a box that has rules and has history, and this is how I must fill in the blank. And actually, what I like to say to everyone is there are no rules, there's no box, there's no one way to do anything really. And so this concept of inclusion is very real. And if you're a little bit interested, come and dip your toe, because it's fine. The water's fine.
The water's fine, and there are people around who will support you.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people are a little intimidated by the concept. Ooh, that's not me. But
Well,
actually,
part of that is sort of the legacy and history of how leather developed within the gay community. The rules used to be severe.
correct.
And there's an old guard that David just pissed off that may watch this, because there were so many rules about how you conducted and how you entered in and getting to know people. And, before there was any internet, bartenders were really helpful of who was dangerous, who was good, and hooking people up and all of that. But so there's a history to that, and it's really kind of fascinating and interesting. Like so many of the history of the gay, lesbian, trans questioning communities we all have a legacy of a history that grew into our history, and that's part of our history in the leather side. But what I think David's expressing, and what I think our club really expresses, is we want a diverse and inclusive, and we want you to come to the leather bars and say hello. Go to Leather Pride and have fun. Within your boundaries.
And speaking of diverse, I mean, Mr. Palm Springs Leather, the current reigning Mr. Palm Springs Leather, we love Andre, is a African American man, which I think is fabulous.
It is, and he's not the first.
Right, Clifton Tatum, among others. I mean, it's fantastic. I was going to confess this at the top of the show, but I was thrown off by my technical issue in terms of what I wanted to show you. But so I bought this harness at Revivals After Dark.
Sweet. Which benefits us, so
right.
we're very grateful.
So Revivals has 4 locations in the desert, and they all benefit DAP Health. And so I was doing a live broadcast, and I was with Clifton Tatum, who is very involved with your group. Yeah, isn't he the reigning president?
He's the president right now.
The outgoing president. So anyway, he helped me. He helped me find this harness, and I swear to God, I look at this and it's like a Rubik's Cube. I have no idea how to put it on or what to do when I'm wearing it. So I'm clearly at the beginning of my journey, but I think it's a bit hilarious. However,
you should be wearing it now.
Yes, I understand. If I knew how to put it on. Go ahead, Kip.
So, Nicholas, after a while, you get more than one harness. And they're always in different configurations and so forth. It typically should be made of leather. So do not be afraid that you needed to have help, because sometimes you're putting something on and you think, oh, this doesn't look right. What did I do? Especially if you're by yourself and you're looking in a mirror and you realize a strap is twisted, or you even have the thing on backwards. And you go, oops, I'm glad I saw, and it's just a thing.
And they're all totally different. Kip's right. They're all a little different, and sometimes you get them messed up. My trick is usually they go 4 and 4. Is I always take off one side, unsnap or unbuckle it, and leave that undone, so that I know the 2 go over my head, the arm goes here, and then I do this one.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, my Rubik's.
Is it identical front and back?
Yes.
Then you got an easy one. So just put your
hands up. Thank you. I won't try to do it now, but I just I share that to be playful and to acknowledge my own journey, and to just to be light and celebratory. And I just, and I'm very sex positive. It's like, I'm not someone that wants to be sexual on camera. I don't have X-rated photos that I share on the apps, but I have no shame about my sexuality or the things I have explored or the things that I want to explore. And one of the things that I love about the leather community is it seems to be a really adventurous and shame-free environment.
I think it's really important that you don't throw shame in shame, and that you let people experiment with who they are and who they want to be, and you let them get there in their own time. And if you have some close mentors within any community, whether you're doing drag or leather or trans ever community you are identifying with and need support with, you find that, and you find some of the actual elders within the community. Like, I'm no spring chicken, but you find the people who've kind of gone down the road before and can kind of take your hand and make sure you're doing what you want to do. I think that's part of the legacy of being a big old gay guy in this town. you need to help others come forward and help the young folks come forward, even with things you don't understand. I'm personally not a puppy play person, but I'm intrigued at how much they're into it, and totally honor and respect that. But at the same time, it's not my flavor of the month. So within the community, you can do what you want, but find your network. It's important to find your network.
The thing that you said that shocks me the most is that there are big old gay guys in this town. I didn't know that.
Well, big old gay guys.
No, that's fantastic. Rock
We're,
says,
we're the capital of gay daddies. That's all.
yes, exactly. Yes, Palm Springs Daddies, or no, I think, yeah, it's a Palm Springs Daddies group on Facebook. It has like thousands and thousands of participants. So Rock says, I'm actually not into leather generally, but I've always felt inclusive in leather pride, but love leather puffs more and other types of specific leather groups. This seems weird when I say this to some. Well, I don't think that, Rock, that would be weird to this group, because we've just talked about the diversity and the acceptance. So I have a slide that shows some of your events. Kip, why don't you take us through these? So I have on October 28th, we have the Meet Us at the Dark Alley event. Is that your opening event?
So the opening event is actually going to be the meet and greet on Thursday night, and that is going to be held at the Tool Shed.
Okay.
And so what happens is all the judges arrive at the bar with the contestants, and so the contestants are dressed in whatever comfortable, casual leather bar drag, like a cruise night if you're going to go out. And it's an opportunity for the contestants to go up and talk to the judges one-on-one, and make the rounds and introduce themselves and have that small chat. And at the same time, the judges evaluate the person they're speaking with and actually then observe how they interact with the crowd and see what they're doing.
Oh, so the judging starts from that event?
Well, unofficially, it's a process. So the actual judging per se takes place the next day during the formal interviews with the judges. But that's on a Friday. But as you were saying, Dark Alley is going to be held on 2 nights, Friday and Saturday consecutively at the Tool Shed. And they're opening up the back patio, and they're having all kinds of lifestyle vendors there, leather, peripheral types of goods and services and things of that sort. And they typically have music and extra bars, and it's just a jam-packed, elbows only type of outdoor event. It's fantastic. Dark Alley.
Okay, and then so that's Friday and Saturday, and then
Correct.
Saturday there's the Smokeout Cigar Social at the Barracks.
So
the Cigar Social is we started just last year. You're showing last year's.
This is last year's. Oh,
yeah,
sorry about that.
There is a calendar for this year, which has the right dates and times and places. But we're having the Cigar Social again. It's going to be at the Barracks.
Okay, that's, by the way, on your homepage right under your poster that I see that.
It
And
is.
says,
That's. But if you go to Leather Pride, that section, and you pull down the
oh,
menu, you'll see the daily schedule. I think
oh, I
that's
got it. I want to
yeah,
show the right information for you.
good.
So
But Cigar Social was something
weekend
that
schedule. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Is the weekend schedule. So we have the registration at the Eagle 501 on the
on
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 Thursday,
on Thursday.
and that's
At,
followed by a official meet and greet at the Tool Shed, where, as
right.
Kip was saying, people can meet the contestants and the judges will be there.
I got
Um,
that. Now you found a new venue
then
for.
you find the most popular, my most favorite event of the entire weekend are our plunge pool parties, and David can maybe tell us some about the excitement. It's changed a little bit this year, and I'm excited about it.
Okay, David, tell us about it.
Well, this is very exciting. For the first year, we're going to be having our plunge pool parties both on the Friday and the Saturday from 12 till 4. And this is the first year we're going to be hosted by the CCBC. And they're very excited to partner with us both on this event and also moving forward into the future. It's a great facility. It's both very social and very playful. So it's a really great opportunity to just come out and chat and get, particularly that Thursday is that Friday, just get the whole weekend started again. You know, you come out at noon. As I said, it's extremely social. There's hundreds of people who come. And it's a great activity. I agree with Eric. I think it's one of the most popular things that we do. And I encourage everyone to come and have a good time.
And there's plunge number 1 on Friday and plunge number 2 on Saturday.
Both at the same. They're both at the CCBC. Both from
Uh-huh.
12 till 4. One on
Yeah,
Saturday, one on Friday.
and this is all on the website. And then
Mhm.
there's the official formal leather dinner Friday night at the Hotel Zoso, followed by Dark Alley, which is the Toolshed parking lot cruise party and vendor mart.
And I do have to say that one, Dark Alley is hugely attended. It's a total blast, and very, very, very busy, and is now expanding to 2 nights because it's so busy.
Okay. And then we've talked about Plunge 2. The Cigar Social is 1 to 5 on Saturday the 29th. The Cigar Social at the Barracks.
At the Barracks, yeah.
And then that night, Saturday night, the big event, Mr. Palm Springs Leather 2022 competition at Hotel Zoso, followed by Dark Alley again, the Victory Dance at the Tool Shed, at the Barracks.
No, at the Barracks.
At the Barracks.
At the Barracks,
Yes. And then, so the swimming hole, I'm gonna guess by virtue of the fact that it's at the Hotel Zoso, there'll be a different dress code than CCBC.
Yeah,
So
there is.
the,
And, that's part of being inclusive. And Kip's put this together and was telling me about it yesterday.
So
No, I think that's great. Go ahead, Kip.
the Hotel Zoso has a standing pool party there for the hotel, and of course, it is not clothing optional, but it's right there in the center of everything, around the corner from Arenas, and it's just going to be an open event for hotel guests and guests in the city. So it's not an official event, but since the host hotel is the Zoso, that's why it's listed.
Well, that's fantastic, and I'm excited about that your event is happening again, that it's growing, that you're getting the word out, that the sales are already going well, that you've got the sponsors. Is there anything any one of you want to say about PSLOD or Palm Springs Leather Order of the Desert that we haven't spoken about?
Well, what I'd like to do is just try and take half a minute and tell you who we are. People don't know who we are. They know Leather Pride. We are the people who have done Leather Pride. The organization, I think, goes back to 1994. It's a 501c3. It's a 100% volunteer organization. The entire weekend is put on by volunteers and people like Kip, who volunteer 80 hours a week as we get close to it. The point of this is to bring people together to build community. Another big point is to be a benefactor, to raise money, to give to charities throughout the region. We take that really seriously. It is, our prices had to go up this year. The membership debated that strongly, but everything is so much more expensive, and we need to make this cash flow, particularly moving out of COVID, so we can continue to have Leather Pride in Palm Springs and do other things in between and build an organization that can continue to give a substantial amount of grant money to local charities who do work around areas that we care about as a club. So we're more than just the guys who throw Leather Pride. We are actually a viable long-term 501c3 and are driven to try and make Leather Pride in the desert, I think, really one of the great leather events of at least in this country. There's a handful of them, and I think ours is just ripe to be right up there with Up Your Alley, which is Story Alley, Folsom, Mid-Atlantic Leather, that kind of event, because we have the amazing weather. We have great business partners in the barracks and the tool shed and rough trade, and just really a great community here that draw on people who are committed to be volunteers and make this happen for us all. So just remember, as you go through Leather Pride, that everybody's volunteering. Be patient if there's a hiccup, because it's an awful lot to coordinate when you're trying to coordinate everything and there's no one who's full-time on it. You know what
I understand.
And mostly have a lot of fun, because that's the point of the weekend.
And David, you wanted to add?
I'll add just one more thing about PSLOD, and that is, and it's top of mind because I was asked today, someone just approached me out of the blue. Our meetings are monthly. We meet at the barracks at 6:30 p.m. on the first Wednesday of every month. Everyone's welcome. This year, in fact, we started something new, a new portfolio, if you will, called the Leather Forum, which is kind of like our education and mentorship portfolio. So at every meeting, not the upcoming meeting, because as we get close to Leather Pride, of course, everything is a focus on Leather Pride. But throughout the year, the main part of the meeting now on the Wednesday night is some kind of educational either activity or presentation. So we've had everything from great presentations on, kind of medical and healthcare aspects of our lifestyle and our community, all the way to this incredible presentation we had about 3 or 4 months ago we talked about it on this show, the history of the of the leather community, how it all started and where it has come. So there's always something of interest to see at our meetings. Everyone's welcome. And once again, it's the first Wednesday of every month, 6:30 p.m. at the barracks.
And Kip, would you like to add anything?
I would. One of the things that we didn't mention yet is that we've always had a silent auction. And this has been a very important part to raise the money that Eric was talking about that we give out to our community. And our recipients have been anything quite varied from the Gay Center here in Palm Springs to a homeless shelter on the east end of the valley to the Gay Men's Chorus. So we look at the broader picture of who makes up our community, and we include them in that level. So this year in the silent auction, which is going to be held online, anybody can participate in the silent auction. If you're not going to be in Palm Springs, it's going to be digital. The articles, the donor items, and things that we're bringing forward are going to be very, very interesting. We have some very great collectible art, some iconic pieces of gay businesses from not even Palm Springs, but throughout California, and some artwork. So our imagery this year is from Jim French, and so we have some great images on that level that are going to be for sale that you can go online and register when that site goes live. And I'd like to give a plug then for the silent auction. Yes.
Okay. Absolutely. And if any local businesses want to be a sponsor at all, please contact Kip's numbers up there. We have such great folks that help us off-ramp gear. You all know the list if you live here. But if anyone's interested in being a sponsor and helping us move the weekend forward to this year and future years, please contact Kip and become a sponsor.
And
go ahead. No,
And
we have
and
plenty
a,
of
a
time.
a plug to our the Palm Springs Leather Order of the Desert Home Bar, which is the tool shed. So that's I think that rounds it up.
Well, fantastic. So we've been talking about Palm Springs Leather Pride 2022, Eruption, Meet in Heat, October 27th, 28th, and 29th. And throughout the show, I've been showing you pslaod.org, where there's prominent links to multiple pages all about Leather Pride. So, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure having you on tonight. I appreciate it for you giving up some of your Saturday night to me.
Thank you for having us, Nicholas. I really appreciate it. Truly do.
Thank you,
Um,
Nicholas. It was great.
it's my pleasure. I really wanted to do something for you well before your event, and then I was looking at my calendar and I thought, oh, it's only September 24th, and so your event is over a month away. I would be remiss if I didn't. Actually, this is an important question, and I just have been thinking about the question the entire time. But I know that there's a huge effort to get people vaccinated for monkeypox. Have you been contacted yet by the county, or are you contacting them to
We
perhaps?
actually, you might appreciate this given what we were talking about for the show, but yes, we contacted through a friend of mine, Les, DAP, and DAP has now put us in contact with the Riverside County folks because we would really, really like to have walk-in vaccinations, particularly at our early Friday, if not Saturday events, so people can get their monkeypox vaccination without an appointment if the vaccines are available in this county. So that has been discussed and that is in the works. If I hope that the county is receptive. Honestly, Riverside County is not the most progressive county in the state, and I feel like we have been so shorted on our monkeypox vaccines in this area, and so many of my friends drove to LA to do it, where they had walk in and not the question. So getting them available here because we have a city where we have the largest percentage of gay population in the state of California in any city in Palm Springs, and they didn't put us on the radar. And they didn't put us on the radar because they were hitting what they thought were the gay mecca centers along the coast. What they don't realize is everybody comes here. So getting our folks and even people who attend Leather Pride who maybe don't live near a clinic where they're giving them out, whether it's a more rural area of California, Riverside County or San Bernardino County, having the first shot walk in and then they can schedule the second one in this area, I think is really important. And I hope that the county responds. And I want to thank DAP for linking us up and making that happen.
Well, I've been showing during most of your response to this question the contact information for DAP Health's community-wide monkeypox hotline and their monkeypox landing page, as well as Riverside County Department of Public Health. And just this week, Riverside County expanded their definition of those who are able to get the vaccine. And what it really comes down to is if you are a person having sex with another person, you now qualify to get the vaccine. That is basically how it's being interpreted now. So that's great. I did hear someone from the county in an interview talking about the desire to collaborate with Palm Springs Pride and Palm Springs Leather Pride to do vaccinations. So I really hope that
Well,
comes
there are emails, and I think really in the people at the county health are great. I think the real dependency is whether they have vaccines available to do walk-in clinics at that point. They're hoping. If they do, we'll set it up. They've done vaccine clinics at CCBC where we're having plunge, but they were by appointment. We want walk-in because I think
understand
it's
completely.
Yeah, for all the reasons that go without saying about people not thinking about even making an appointment while they're in town.
Well, thank you for ending on that important note, and I appreciate you taking time with me tonight, and I hope you all have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you so much, Nicholas.
Okay.
And to my viewers at home, thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time, and maybe you'll see them at Leather Pride. Bye-bye.